They say history is written by the victors, but what happens when the victors themselves clash? This isn't just a history lesson. This is a battlefield of ideas, ambition, and strategy, where we pit 5 of history's greatest conquerors against each other in a fight for supremacy. Welcome to the ultimate conqueror showdown, where swords meet strategy, tactics meet technology, and legends meet, well, memes. Yes, memes. Because honestly, who hasn't compared their favorite historical figure to a modern superhero or anime protagonist? Think of Napoleon as the Shikamaru Nara of Europe, always 10 moves ahead. Or Alexander as the original Goku, young, ambitious, and just refusing to stop powering up. And Genghis? He's like the Thanos of history, snapping his fingers and making entire cities disappear. But let's not get too carried away. Yet. Here's what we're really here for. To settle the ultimate debate. Who was the greatest conqueror of all time? And we're doing it with facts, strategy breakdowns, and just a pinch of good humor. We'll explore multiple scenarios, testing their armies, strategies, and adaptability to ensure the results are as fair as possible. Because let's face it, no conqueror is invincible in every situation. So, who's in the ring today? Let's meet the challengers. First up, Alexander the Great, the ultimate overachiever of antiquity.
If you're captivated by stories like this, don't forget to subscribe to Ancient Perspectives for more epic tales of history's greatest figures and moments. Hit the bell icon to never miss an adventure into the past.
Born in 356 BCE in Macedon, Alexander didn't just dream of conquering the world, he practically rolled out of bed and did it. At just 20, he inherited a small but fierce kingdom from his father, King Philip III, and decided to turbocharge it into an empire that stretched from Greece to the edges of India. Alexander's brilliance wasn't just in winning battles, it was in how he won them. At the Battle of Gaugamela, he faced an army nearly 5 times the size of his own and turned it into a masterclass of battlefield geometry, flanking maneuvers, and audacity. Oh, and he built entire cities along the way, many named Alexandria. Humble, right? These cities weren't just military outposts. They became cultural hubs, spreading Greek influence across Asia like the ancient world's version of globalization. Modern equivalent, Alexander is the ambitious startup founder who doesn't just aim for the moon, but colonizes Mars on the side. But for all his brilliance, he burned too hot and too fast, dying at 32 and leaving behind an empire so vast that his generals spent decades fighting over it. Next, Genghis Khan, born Temujin on the harsh Mongolian steppes in 1162. If Alexander was the young visionary, Genghis was the ultimate survivor. Before uniting Mongolia, he endured betrayals, enslavement, and near-death experiences that would have made even the toughest action hero flinch. But here's where it gets terrifying. Genghis turned hardship into his greatest weapon. His Mongol army wasn't just fast, it was devastating. His horse archers could hit targets at full gallop, striking terror into enemies long before they saw the Mongols coming. And when it came to siege warfare, Genghis innovated, using captured engineers to build catapults and explosives. Here's a little known fact. Genghis wasn't just a destroyer. He was also a builder of systems. He created trade routes that connected Europe and Asia, implemented a meritocratic leadership system, and even guaranteed religious freedom in his empire. Modern equivalent? Genghis is the guy who'd crash your economy in a video game and rewrite the game's code while he's at it. But fair warning, he played for keeps. Entire cities disappeared under his rule, and his conquest reshaped the demographic map of Asia forever. Now Julius Caesar, Rome's ultimate triple threat: military genius, political mastermind, and self-promoting author. Born in 100 BCE, Caesar wasn't content with just being a great general. He wanted to control the narrative too. His commentaries on the Gallic War didn't just document his campaigns, they turned him into the ancient world's first media influencer. But let's not mistake charisma for weakness. Caesar's campaigns in Gaul were brutal and brilliantly strategic. He took on tribes with armies larger than his own and used fortifications, engineering, and sheer audacity to win. The Siege of Alesia? Caesar surrounded an entire city while simultaneously building defenses against the relief army. Talk about multitasking. Fun fact, Caesar's legacy wasn't just military. His reforms reshaped Rome, setting the stage for the empire's golden age. Think of him as the ancient world's Elon Musk, always pushing boundaries, for better or worse. But like all great disruptors, he made enemies, and we all know how that Ides of March turned out. And then there's Hannibal Barca, the man who made Rome quake in its sandals. Born in Carthage in 247 BCE, Hannibal grew up swearing eternal hatred for Rome, and wow did he deliver. His crossing of the Alps with elephants wasn't just a logistical miracle, it was psychological warfare on steroids. At Cannae, Hannibal pulled off one of the most famous military maneuvers in history, encircling and annihilating a Roman army twice his size. Imagine letting your enemy think they're winning, only to trap them in a devastating counterstrike. That's Hannibal. But while his tactics were unmatched, his long-term strategy faltered. Without strong political backing from Carthage, Hannibal was like a gamer stuck in hardcore mode without enough resources. Still, his brilliance left a mark on Roman strategy for centuries. And, last but not least, Napoleon Bonaparte, the man who took post-revolutionary chaos in France and turned it into a European empire. Napoleon didn't just fight wars, he reinvented them. His use of artillery, corps organization, and rapid troop movements made him the ultimate chess master on the battlefield. At Austerlitz, he pulled off what's often called his masterpiece, baiting his enemies into overextending and then smashing their center. But Napoleon wasn't just a battlefield genius, he was a master of optics. From coroning himself emperor to crafting the Napoleonic Code, he knew how to shape his legacy. But even Napoleon had his limits. Spain's guerrilla warfare and Russia's winters proved that even the greatest conquerors can overreach. Modern equivalent? Napoleon is the tech CEO who disrupts everything, until one bad quarter sends the stock plummeting. So there you have it, 5 conquerors, 5 legends, each at the height of their powers. But here's the twist, we're not just comparing their greatest hits, we're diving deep into the scenarios where they'd excel, and where they'd struggle. From open plains to fortified cities, from deserts to icy wastelands, we'll test their adaptability, ingenuity, and endurance. Who adapts fastest, who thrives in chaos, and who falters when the terrain or politics turn against them. Stick around, because by the end of this, we'll crown the ultimate conqueror. And trust us, it's going to be a battle for the ages.
If you're captivated by stories like this, don't forget to subscribe to Ancient Perspectives for more epic tales of history's greatest figures and moments. Hit the bell icon to never miss an adventure into the past.